master, what cheer?
Good! Speak to the mariners! All to a galley or let ourselves a crown! Bestir! Bestir!
Aye, my hearts! Surely, surely, my hearts! Yeah! Take in the topsail! Tend to the master's whistle! Blow till they'll burst thy wind if room enough!
Good boatswain, have care!
Where's the master? Play the man! I pray now, keep below!
Where's the master, boatswain?
Do you not hear him? You bar our labor! Take to your cabin you to assist the storm!
Hey, good, be
When
patient!
the sea is! Hence! What cares these roars for the name of the king? To cabin, silence trouble us not!
Good, Tip! Remember he now has to board!
None that I more love than myself! You are a counselor! If you can command these winds to silence and bring forth the peace of the present, we will not hand a rope more. Use your authority. If you cannot, give thanks that you've lived so long and make yourself ready in your cabin for the mischance of the hour so hath. Cheerly, good hearts! Out of our way, I say!
I have a great comfort from this fellow. He thinks he hath no drowning mark upon him.
Down with the topmast! Lower! Bring up to try with the main course! A plague upon this howling! They're louder than the weather or our office! What, must our mouths be called?
The king and prince of prayers. That's a system for our cases and affairs. We were merely cheated of our lives by drunkards. This white chap grasped me without Midas like drowning the washing of 10 times.
He'll be hanged yet, though every drop of water swear against it, and give it Midas to glut him.
Let us all sink with the king.
Let's take leave of him.
Now would I give 1,000 furlongs of sea for an acre of barren ground, long heath, brown furze, anything. The will should not be done, but I would fain die a dry death.
If by your art, my dearest mother, you have put the wild waters in this roar, allay them. The sky, it seems, would pour down stinking pitch, but that the sea mounting to the welkin's cheek dashes the fire out. Oh, I have suffered with those that I saw suffer. A brave vessel who had, no doubt, some noble creature in her dashed all to pieces. Oh, the cry did knock against my very heart. Poor souls, they perished. Had I been any god of power, I would have sunk the sea within the earth, or had the good ship so have swallowed in the frotting souls within her.
Oh, be collected. No more amazement. Tell your piteous heart there's no harm done.
Oh, woe the day.
No harm. I have done nothing but in care of thee, my dear one, thee, my daughter, who art ignorant of what thou art, not knowing of whence I am, nor that I am more better than Prospero, master of a full poor cell, and thy no greater mother.
More to know did never meddle with my thoughts.
'Tis time I should inform thee farther. Lend thy hand. Sit there, my art. Wipe thou thine eyes, have comfort. The direful spectacle of the wreck, which touched the very virtue of compassion in thee, I have with such provision in mine art so safely ordered that there is no soul, nor not so much perdition as a hair to any creature in the vessel, which thou heardst cry, which thou sawest sink. Sit down, for thou must now no farther.
You have often begun to tell me what I am, but stopped and left me to a bootless inquisition, concluding, stay, not yet.
The hour is now come. The very minute bids thee ope thine ear. Obey and be attentive. Canst thou remember a time before we came unto this cell? I do not think thou canst, for then thou wast not out 3 years old.
Certainly I can.
By what? By any other house or person? Of anything the image tell me that is kept with thy remembrance.
'Tis far off, and rather like a dream than an assurance that my remembrance warrants. Had I not 4 or 5 women that tended me?
Thou hadst in more, Miranda. But how is it that this lives in thy mind? What seest thou else in the dark backward and abysm of time? If thou rememberest aught ere thou camest here, how thou camest here thou mayest.
That I do not.
12 years since, Miranda. "12 years since, thy mother was the Duchess of Milan.
Are not you my mother?
Thy sainted father was a piece of virtue. And thy mother was Duchess of Milan, and thou her only heir and princess no worse issued.
Oh, the heavens! What foul play had we that we came from thence? Or blessed was't we did?
Both, my girl. By foul play, as thou sayest, were we heaved thence, but blessedly hope hither.
Oh, my heart bleeds to think of the teen that I have turned you to. That is from my remembrance. Please you farther.
My brother and thy uncle, called Antonio. I pray thee mark me that a brother should be so perfidious. He whom next thyself of all the world I loved, and to him put the manage of my state, as it was through all the signories, the first, and Prospero the prime duchess, being so reputed in dignity, and for the liberal arts without a parallel. Those being all my study, the government I cast upon my brother, and to my state grew stranger, being transported and wrapped in secret studies. Thy false uncle, dost thou attend me?
Most heedfully.
Being once perfected how to grant suits, how to deny them, who to advance and who to trash for overtopping, new created the creatures that were once mine, I say, or changed them or else new formed them. Having both the key of officer and office, set all hearts of the state to what tune pleased his ear. That now he was the ivy which had hid my princely trunk, and such ever drew out on't. Thou attendest not.
Oh, good mother, I do.
I pray thee mark me. I, thus neglecting worldly ends, all dedicated to closeness and the bettering of my mind, with that which but by being so reputed or prized, all popular rate. And my false brother awaked an evil nature. And my trust, like a good parent, did begin of him a falsehood. In its contrary, as great as my trust was, which had indeed no limit, the confidence stands bound. He being thus loaded not only with what my revenue yielded, but what my power might us exact, like one who having into truth by telling of it, made such a sinner of his memory to credit his own lie. He did believe he was the Duke, out of the substitution and executing the outward face of royalty with all prerogative, hence his ambition growing. Dost thou hear?
Your tale, mother, would cure deafness.
To have no screen between this part he played and him he played it for. He needs will be absolute Milan. Me, my library was dukedom large enough. Of temporal royalties he thinks me now incapable. Confederate, so dry he was for sway with the king of Naples, to pay him annual tribute, to do him homage, to subject his coronet to his crown, and bend the dukedom yet unbowed. Alas, poor Milan, to most ignoble stooping.
Oh, the heavens!
Mark his condition and the event. Then tell me if this might be a brother. The king of Naples, being an enemy to me inveterate, hearkens my brother's suit, which was that he, in lieu the premises of homage and I know not how much tribute, should presently extirpate me and mine out of the dukedom, and confer fair Milan with all the honors on my brother. Whereon a treacherous army, levied one midnight, fated to the purpose, did Antonio open the gates of Milan. Into the dead of darkness, The ministers for the purpose hurried thence, me and thy crying self.
Alack for pity. I, not remembering how I cried out then, shall cry it o'er again. 'Tis a hint that rings mine eyes to it.
Hear a little more, and then I'll bring thee to the present business which now's upon us, without the which this tale were most impertinent.
Wherefore did they not that hour destroy us?
Well demanded. My tale provokes that question. Dear, they durst not. So dear the love my people bore me, nor set a mark so bloody on the business, but with fairer colours painted their foul ends. In few they hurried us aboard a bark, bore us some leagues to sea, where they prepared a rotten carcass of a boat, not rigged, nor tackle, sail, nor mast. The very rats instinctively had quit it. There they heaved us, to cry to the sea that roared to us, to sigh to the winds, whose pity sighing back again did us but loving wrong.
Alack, what trouble was I then to you?
Oh, a cherubim thou wast that did preserve me. Thou didst smile, infused with a fortitude from heaven, when I have decked the sea with drops full salt. Under my burthen groaned and raised in me an undergoing stomach, to bear up against what else should ensue.
How came we ashore?
By providence divine. Some food we had and some fresh water, that a noble Neapolitan, Gonzalo, out of his charity, being then appointed master of this design, did give us, with rich garments, linens, stuffs and necessaries, which since have steadied much. So was his goodness. Knowing that I love my books, he fashioned me from mine own library with volumes that I prize above my dukedom.
Oh, that I might ever meet that man.
Be still, and hear the last of our sea sorrow. Here in this island we arrived, and here have I, thy schoolmaster, made thee more profit than other princesses can that have more time for vainer hours and tutors not so careful.
Heavens thank you for it. But pray you, mother, for still 'tis beating on my mind, your reason for raising this sea storm.
Know thus far forth, by accident most strange, bountiful fortune, now, my dear lady, hath mine enemies brought to this shore. And by my prescience, I find my zenith doth depend upon a most auspicious star, whose influence, if now I court not, but omit, my fortunes will ever after droop. Here cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. It's a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant. Come. I am ready now. Approach, my Ariel, come.
All hail, great master, hail. I come to answer thy best pleasure, be it to fly, to swim, to dive into the fire, to ride on the curly clouds to thy strong bidding task, Ariel, and all her quality.
Hast thou, spirit, performed to point the tempest that I bade thee?
To every article. I boarded the king's ship. Now in the beak, the deck, the waist, in every cabin I flamed amazement. Sometimes I'll divide and burn in many places. On the topmast yards and bowsprit would I flame distinctly, then meet and join. Jove's lightnings, the precursors, are the most dreadful thunderclaps, more momentary in sight outrunning were not. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble, yea, his dread trident shake.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul but felt a fever of the mad and played some tricks of desperation. All the mariners plunged into the foaming brine and quit the vessel. Then, all afire with me, the king's son, Ferdinand, with hair upstaring, then like reeds, not hair, was the first that leapt and cried, "How is the spirit? All the devils are here!"
Why, that's my spirit. But was not this nigh shore?
Close by, my master.
But are they Ariel safe?
Not a hair perished on their sustaining garments, not a blemish, but fresher than before. And as thou badest me, in troops I have dispersed them about the isle. The king's son have I led by himself, whom I left cooling over the other sides in an odd angle of the isle, sitting. His arms in this sad knot.
Of the king's ship, the mariners, say how thou hast disposed in all the rest of the fleet.
Safely in harbor is the king's ship, in a deep nook. The mariners all under hatches stowed, who, with a charm joined to their suffered labor, I have left asleep. And for the rest of the fleet which I have dispersed, they have all met again or are upon the Mediterranean float, bound sadly home for Naples, supposing that they saw the king's ship wrecked and his great person perish.
Ariel, thy charge. Exactly as performed. But there's more what? What is the time of the day?
Past mid-season?
At least 2 glasses. The time twixt 6 to now must by us both be spent most preciously.
Is there more toil? Since thou hast given me pains, let me remember thee what thou hast promised, which is not yet performed me.
Oh no. Moody, what is thou canst demand?
My liberty.
Before the time be out, no more.
I prithee remember I have done thee worthy service. Told thee no lies, made thee no mistaking, served without grudge or grumblings. Thou didst promise to bake me a full year.
Dost thou forget from what a torment I did free thee?
No.
Thou dost, and think'st it much to tread the ooze of the salt deep, to run upon the sharp winds of the north, to do me business in the veins of the earth when it is baked with frost.
I do not, master.
Thou liest, malignant thing. Hast thou forgot the foul witch Sycorax, who with age and envy was grown into a hoop? Hast thou forgot her?
No, master.
Thou hast. Where was she born? Speak, tell me.
Master, in Argier.
Oh, was she so? I must once in a month recount what thou hast been, which thou forgett'st. This damned witch Sycorax, for mistress manifold and sorceries terrible, to enter human hearing, from Argier thou knowest was banished. For one thing she did, they would not take her life. Is not this true?
Aye, master.
This blue-eyed hag was hither brought with child, and here was left by the sailors. Thou, my slave, as thou reportest thyself, wast then her servant, and, for thou wast a spirit too delicate to act her earthly and abhorred commands, refusing her grand hests, she did confine thee, by help of her more potent ministers, and in her most unmitigable rage into a cloven pine, within which rift imprisoned thou didst painfully remain 12 years, within which space she died, and left thee there. For thou didst vent thy groans as fast as mill wheels strike. Then was this island, save for the sun she did litter here, freckled whelp, hag-born, not honored with a human shape.
Yes, Caliban, her son.
Dull thing I say so. That Caliban whom now I keep in service. Thou best knowest what a torment I did find thee in. Thy groans did make wolves howl, and penetrate the breasts of ever angry bears. It was a torment to lay upon the damned, which Sycorax could not again undo. It was mine art, when I arrived and heard thee, that made gape the pine and let thee out.
I thank thee, master. I will be correspondent to command and do my spiriting gently.
Do so. And after 2 days I will discharge thee.
That's my noble master! What shall I do? Say what shall I do?
Go, make thyself like a nymph of the sea. Be subject to no sight but thine and mine, invisible to every eyeball else. Go take this shape and hither come in. Go, hence with diligence.
Awake, dear heart. Awake.
Thou hast slept well. Awake.
The strangeness of your story put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave, who never yields us kind answer.
'Tis a villain I do not like to look on.
What as 'tis, we cannot miss him. He does make our fire, fetches in our wood, and serves in offices that profit us. What ho! Slave! Caliban! Thou earth, thou speak!
Now, there's wood enough within.
Come forth, I say, there's other business for thee. A poisonous slave got by the devil himself. Upon thy wicked dam, come forth!
As wicked do as ere my mother brushed with raven's feather from unwholesome fen, drop on you both! A southwest blow on ye and blister ye all over!
For this be sure, tonight thou shalt have cramps, side stitches that shall pen thy breath up. Urchins shall for that vast of night that they may work all exercise on thee. Thou shalt be pinched, as thick as honeycomb, each pinch more stinging than bees that made 'em.
I must eat my dinner. This island's mine, by Sycorax my mother, which thou takest from me. When thou camest first, thou strokest me, madest much of me, would give me water with berries in't, teach me how to name the greater light, and how the less that burned by night and day. And then I loved thee, and showed thee all the qualities of the isle, fresh springs and brine pits, barren places and fertile. Cursed be I that did so. All the charms of Sycorax, toads, beetles, bats, light on you, for I am all the subjects that you have, which once was mine own king, and here you do sty me in this hard rock, was you to keep from me the rest of the island.
Thou most lying slave, whom strikes move not kindness. I have used thee, filth as thou art, with human care, and lodged thee in mine own cell, to that it seek to violate the honor of my child.
Oh, wouldst have been done? Thou didst prevent me, else I would have peopled this isle with Calibans.
Abhorred slave, which any prince of goodness will not take. I pity thee, took pains to make thee speak, taught thee each hour one thing or other.
Ah, you taught me language, and my profit on't is I know how to curse. The red plague rid you for learning me your language.
Hag seed hence. Fetch us, and if you will be quick about it. Thou art best to answer other business. Shrubst thou malice? If thou neglect so dost unwillingly what I command, I'll rack thee with old cramps. Fill all thy bones with aches, make thee roar, that beasts shall tremble at thy din.
Ah, no! Pray thee! I must obey. The spirits are of such power.
So, slave hence!
Should this music be? In the air? or the earth. It sounds no more, in short waits upon some god of the island. Sitting on a bank, weeping again the king my father's wrecked. This music crept by me upon the waters that lame both their fury and my passion with its sweet airs. Thence I have followed it, or it hath drawn me rather. But 'tis gone now.
Full fathom thy father
What begins again?
his bones are coral made. These are pearls that were his eyes. Nothing fade, but does for us each to something rich and strange. Satan solemn ring his love, then ding dong. Hark, now I hear them.
This ditty does remember my drowned father. This is no mortal business, nor no sound that the earth owes. I hear it now above me.
The fringed curtains of thine eye advance, and say what thou seest yond.
What is't? A spirit? Lord, how it looks about. Believe me, mother, it carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench, it eats and sleeps, and hath such senses as we have such. This gallant which thou seest was in the wreck, but he's something stained with grief that's beauty's canker. Thou mightest call him a goodly person. He hath lost his fellows, and strays about to find him.
I might call him a thing divine, for nothing natural I ever saw so noble.
It goes on, I see, as my soul prompts it. Spirit, fine spirit, I'll free thee within 2 days for this.
Most sure, the goddess on whom these airs attend. Vouchsafe my prayer. May I know if you remain upon this island, and that you will some good instruction give how I may bear me here. My prime request, which I do last pronounces, oh, you wonder if you be maid or no.
No wonder, sir, but certainly a maid.
My language, heavens, I'm the best of them that speak this speech, were I but where 'tis spoken.
How? The best. What wert thou if the King of Naples heard thee?
A single thing, as I am now, that wonders to hear thee speak of Naples. He does hear me, and that he does I weep. Myself am Naples, whom with mine eyes never since that I beheld the king my father wrecked.
Alack for mercy.
Yes, faith in all his lords, the Duke of Milan and his brave son being twain.
The Duchess of Milan and her more braver daughter could control thee, if now 'twere fit to do it. At this first sight they have changed eyes. Delicate Ariel, I'll set thee free for this. A word, good sir, a word. I fear you have done yourself some wrong. A word.
Why speaks my mother so ungently?
Oh, if a virgin and your affection not gone forth, I'll make you the Queen of Naples.
They are both in either's powers. But this swift business I must uneasy make, lest too light winning make the prize light. Soft, sir, one word more, one word more. I charge thou that thou attend me. Thou dost here usurp the name thou owest not, and hast put thyself upon this island as a spy, to win it from me the Lord on't.
No. As I am a man,
Nothing ill can dwell in such a temple. The ill spirit have such fair a house. Good things will strive to dwell in it.
Follow me. Speak not before him, he's a traitor. Come, I'll manacle thy neck and feet together. Salt water shalt thou drink, thy food shall be the fresh brook mussels, withered roots and husks wherein the acorn cradled. Follow.
Be of comfort, sir. My mother's of a better nature than she appears by speech. This is unwanted which now came from her.
Thou hast done well, fine Ariel. Thou shalt be free as mountain winds, but then exactly do all points of my command.
With a syllable.
Come, follow.
Beseech you, sir, be merry. You have cause, so have we all of joy. For our escape is much beyond our loss. Our hint of woe is common. Every day some sailor's wife, the master of some merchant, and the merchant have just our theme of woe. But for the miracle, I mean our preservation, few in millions can speak like us. Then wisely, good sir, weigh our sorrow with our comfort.
Prithee, peace.
He receives comfort like cold porridge.
The visitor will not give him over so.
Look, he's winding up the watch of his wit. By and by it will strike.
Sir,
You have taken it wiselier than I meant you should.
therefore, my lord,
Why, what a spit Britt is of his tongue.
I prithee spare.
well, I have done. And yet,
He will still be talking.
here is everything advantageous to life.
Truth, save means to live.
Of that there is none a little.
How lush and lusty the grass looks. How green.
He misses not much.
But the rarity of it is, which is indeed almost beyond credit,
As many vouched rarities are.
that our garments, being as they were drenched in the sea, hold, notwithstanding their freshness and glosses, being rather new dyed and stained with salt water.
If but one of his pockets could speak, would it not say he lies?
Aye, or very falsely pocket up his report.
Methinks our garments are now as fresh as when we first were in Afric. At the marriage of the king's fair daughter Claribel to the king of Tunis.
'Twas a sweet marriage, we prosper well in our return.
Sir, we were speaking just now that our garments were as fresh as when we were first in Afric. At the marriage of your daughter, who is now queen. Is not, sir, my garment as fresh as the first day I wore it? I mean, in a sort.
That sort was well fished for.
When I wore it at your daughter's marriage.
You cram these words into mine ears against the stomach of my sense. Would I had never married my daughter there. For coming thence, my son is lost, and in my rape, she too, who is so far from Italy removed, I ne'er again shall see her. O thou mine heir of Naples and of Milan, what strange fish hast made his meal on thee?
Sir, he may live. I saw him beat the surges under him and ride upon their backs. He trod the water, whose enmity he flung aside and breasted the surge most swollen that met him. His bold head above the contentious waves he kept, and oared himself with his good arms in lusty stroke to the shore, which o'er his wave-worn basis bowed, as stooping to relieve him. I not doubt he came alive to land.
No, he's gone.
Sir, you may thank yourself for this great loss. That would not bless our Europe with your daughter, but rather lose her to an African, where she at least is banished from your eye, who hath caused with a grief on it.
I prithee peace.
You were nailed to an importune otherwise, by all of us, and the fair soul herself lay between loothness and obedience, at which end of the beam should bow. We have lost your son, I fear, forever. A lot of Naples have more widows in them of this making than we bring men to comfort them. The fault's your own.
So is the dearest of the lost.
My lady Sebastiana, the truth you speak doth lack some gentleness and time to speak it in. You rub the sore when you should bring the plaster.
Very well.
It is foul weather in us all, good lady, when you are cloudy.
Foul weather!
Very foul.
We would so, and then go back to fouling.
Nay, good my lord, be not angry.
No, I warrant you. I would not adventure my discretion so weakly. What? Will you laugh me asleep? For I am heavy.
Go, sleep, and hear us.
Why, how now? So soon asleep? I wish mine eyes would with themselves shut up my thoughts. I find they're inclined to do so.
Please you, sir, do not omit the heavy offer of it. It seldom visits sorrow, and when it doth, it is a comforter.
Oh, we too, my lord, will guard your person while you take your rest and watch your safety.
Thank you. Wondrous heavy.
What a strange drowsiness possesses them.
'Tis the quality of the climate.
Why doth it not our eyelids sink? I find not myself disposed to sleep.
Nor I. Spirits are nimble. They fell all as by consent. He dropped as if by a thunderstroke. What might, worthy Sebastiana? Or what might? No more. And yet, methinks I see it in thy face, what thou shouldest be. The occasion speaks thee, and my strong imagination sees a crown dropping upon thy head.
What? Art thou waking?
Do not hear me speak.
I do. And surely, it is a sleepy language thou speakest out of thy sleep. What is it thou didst say? This is a strange repose to be asleep with eyes wide open, standing, speaking, moving, and yet so fast asleep.
Noble Sebastiana, thou lettest thy fortune sleep. Die, rather, ringst whiles thou art waking.
Thou dost snore distinctly. There's meanings in thy snores.
I am more serious than is my custom. You must be so too, if heed me, which to do troubles thee over.
Well, I am standing water.
Then I'll teach you how to flow.
Do so. To ebb. Hereditary sloth instructs me.
Oh, if you but knew how ye the purpose cherish, while thus you mock it, how in stripping it you more invested. Ebbing men, indeed, most often do so near the bottom run by their own fear or sloth.
Prithee, say on.
Thus, my lady, although this lord of weak remembrance, he who shall be of as little memory when he's earth, hath here almost persuaded, for he's a spirit of persuasion, only professes to persuade. The king his son's alive, 'tis as impossible that he's undrowned, and he that sleeps here swims.
I have no hope that he is undrowned.
Oh, out of that no hope, what great hope have you? No hope that weighs another way, so I hope that even ambition cannot pierce a wink beyond. But doubt discovery there. Will you grant with me that Ferdinand is drowned?
He's gone.
Then tell me, who's the next heir of Naples?
Caliban, the king's married daughter.
She that is also queen of Tunis. She that dwells 10 leagues beyond man's life. She that from Naples can have no note, unless the sun her post. The man in the moon's too slow, till newborn chins be rough and razorable. She that, from whom? We all were sea-swallowed, though some cast again, and by that destiny to perform an act. Where what's past is prologue, what's come in yours and my discharge.
What stuff is this? How say you? 'Tis true my brother's daughter's queen of Tunis. So is she heir of Naples, twixt which regions there is some space.
A space whose every cubit seems to cry out, how shall that Caliban measure us back to Naples? Keep in Tunis, and let Sebastiana wake. Say this were a death that now has seized them. Why, they were no worse than now they are. There be that can rule Naples as well as he that sleeps here. Lords that prate as ambly unnecessarily as this Gonzalo, I myself could make a chaff of as deep chat. Oh, if you but bore the mind that I do, what a sleep this were for your advancement. Do you understand me?
Methinks I do.
And how does your content tender your own good fortune?
I remember you did supplant your sister Prospero.
True. Look how well my garments sit upon me. Much featier than before. My sister's servants were then my fellows. Now they are my men.
But for your conscience.
Hi, madam. Where lies that? 20 consciences that stand twixt me and Milan. Can it be they in melt ere they molest? Here lies your brother. No better than the earth he lies upon. If he were that which now he's like that's dead, whom I, with this obedient steel, 3 inches of it, can lay to bed forever. Whiles you, doing thus to the perpetual wing for I, but this ancient morsel, this Sir Prudence, who should not upbraid our course. As for the rest, they'll take suggestion as a cat laps milk. They'll tell the clock to any business that we say befits the hour.
Thy case, dear friend. Shall be my precedent. Hast thou voiced to Milan, I'll come by Naples. Draw thy sword. One stroke shall free thee from the tribute which thou payest, and I, the queen, shall love thee.
Draw it together. And when I rear my hand, do you the like to fall it on Gonzalo.
My master, through her art, foresees the danger that you, her friend, are in, and sends me forth, for else her project dies, to keep them living. While you here do snoring lie, open-eyed conspiracy his time doth take. If of life you keep a care, shake off slumber and beware. Awake! Awake!
No, good angels beside the king!
Well, how now? Ho awake! Where are you drawn? Wherefore this ghastly looking? What's the matter?
Whilst we stood here securing your repose, just now we heard a hollow burst of bellowing like bulls, or rather, lions. Did it not awake you? It struck mine ear most terribly.
I heard nothing.
Oh, 'twas a din to frighten the monsters here, to make an earthquake. Sure it was the roar of a whole herd of lions.
Beat off this ground, and let's make further search for my poor son.
Heavens keep him from these beasts, for he is sure of the island.
Lead away.
Prospero shall know what I have done. So, King, go safely on to seek thy son.
All the infections that the sun sucks up from bogs, fens, flats, on Prospero fall and make her by inchmeal a disease. Her spirits hear me, and yet my needs must curse. But they'll nor pinch me, nor fright me with urchin shows, nor pitch me in the mire, nor lead me in the dark out my way like a firebrand unless she bid 'em. But for every trifle are they set upon me. Sometimes, like apes which mow and chatter at me, and have to bite me. Then, like hedgehogs which lie tumbling in my barefoot way, and mount their pricks at my footfall. Sometime am I all wound with adders who with cloven tongues do hiss me into madness.
Here's neither bush nor shrub to bear up
use a spirit of hers, and to torment me for bringing wood in slowly. I'll fall flat. Perchance she will not mind me.
And another storm brewing? I hear it sing in the wind. Yon say black cloud, yon huge one, looks like a foul lover that would shed his liquor. If it should storm again, I know not where to hide my head. Yon same black cloud cannot choose but fall like camels. What have we here? Man or fish? Dead or alive? A fish. He smells like a fish. A very ancient and fish-like smell. A kind of not of the newest, poor John. A strange fish. Legged like a man, and his fins. Like arms. This is no man. This is a man. An islander that is lately suffered by a thunderstroke. Alas, the storm has come again. There is no shelter hereabouts. My best chance is to creep under his gabardine. Misery acquaints one with strange bedfellows. I will here shroud until the dreads of the storm be past.
I shall no more to sea, here shall I die ashore. Well, this is a scurvy tune to sing at a man's funeral. But here's to my comfort. The master, the swabber, the boatswain, and I, the gunner and his mate, loved Meg, Moll, and Mary, and Marjorie, but none of us cared for Kate, for she had a tongue with a tang, would cry, woe, to a sailor go hang. She loved not the savor of tar nor pitch, yet a tailor might scratch her. Whereas she did itch, then you see, boys, and let her go hang. Well, this is a scurvy tune, too. But here's to my comfort.
Do not torment me, Abba!
What's the matter? Have we devils here? Do you put tricks upon us with men and savages of Ind? Ha! I have not escaped drowning to be afeard of your 4 legs. For it hath been said, as proper a man as ever went on 4 legs cannot make him give ground, and so it shall be said, while Stephano breathes at nostrils.
The spirit torments me!
This is some monster of the isle who hath got, as I take it, an ague. I will give him some relief. If it be but for that, I'll keep him tame and get to Naples with him. He's a present for any emperor that trod on neat's leather.
Do not torment me, prithee, I'll bring my wood home faster!
He's in a fit now and does not talk after the wisest. He shall taste of my bottle. If he have not drunk wine afore, we'll go close to remove his fit. Come, open your mouth. This will shake your shaking. I can tell you that and that soundly. You cannot tell who's your friend. Open your mouth again.
I should know that voice. It should be... But he is drowned. And these are devils. Oh, defend me!
4 legs and 2 voices. A most delicate monster. His forward voice is to speak well of his friend, and his backward voice is to utter foul speeches and to detract. If it take all the wine in my bottle to recover him, I will help his IQ. Come, amen. I will pour some in thy other mouth.
Stefano!
Doth thy other mouth call me? Mercy, mercy, this is a devil and no monster. I will leave him. I have no long spoon.
Stefano! If thou be a Stefano, touch me and speak to me. For I'm Trinculo, be not afeard. Thy good friend Trinculo.
If thou beest Trinculo, show thyself. I'll pull thee by thy lesser legs. If any are Trinculos, these are they.
Thou art very Trinculo indeed!
How camest thou by the siege of this moon calf? Can he vent Trinculos?
I took him to be killed by a thunderstroke. But art thou not drowned, Stefano? I hope thou art not drowned. Is a storm overblown? I hid me under the dead moon calf's gathered meat for fear of the storm.
Prithee, turn me not about. My stomach is not constant.
These be brave things if they be not sprites. That's a brave god who bears celestial liquor. I will kneel to him.
How didst thou escape? How camest thou hither? Swear by this bottle how thou camest thou hither. I escaped on the butt of a sack, which the sailors heaved overboard. By this bottle, which I made of my own 2 hands, by the bark of a tree.
I'll swear by that bottle to be thy true subject, for the liquor is not earthly.
Come, swear then how thou escapest.
Swim ashore, man, like a duck. I can swim like a duck, I'll be sworn.
Here, kiss the book. Thou canst swim like a duck, but thou art made like a goose.
Oh, Stefano, hast any more of this?
Oh, the whole butt man. My stash is in the sea, by the seaside, in a rock where my wine is hid. Oh no, moon calf! How does thine ague?
Hast thou not dropped from heaven?
Out of the moon I do assure thee. I was the man in the moon when time was.
I have seen you in her, and I do adore thee.
Come, swear to that. I'll furnish it anon with new contents, swear.
By this good light, this is a very shallow monster. I have feared of him, a weak monster.
I prithee, I'll show thee all the qualities of the isle, and I will kiss thy foot, and I prithee, be my god.
By this light, a most perfidious and drunken monster. When God's asleep, he'll rob his bottle.
I lick thy shoe, and I prithee, I swear myself, thy servant.
Come, swear to that. Kiss the book.
I shall have myself this monster.
Oh,
Scurvy monster.
come, kiss.
But then the poor monster's in drink. An abominable monster.
I'll show thee the best springs. I'll pick thee berries. I'll fish for thee and get thee wood enough. A plague on the tyrant that I now serve. I'll bear her no more sticks, but follow thee, thou wondrous man.
You must be ridiculous, man, to make a wonder of a poor drunkard.
I prithee, let me bring thee where crabs grow, and I with my long nails shall dig thee pignuts, show thee a jay's nest, and instruct thee how to snare the nimble marmoset. Bring thee to clustering filberts, and sometimes get thee young scamels from the rocks. What say? Wilt thou go with me?
Prithee, lead the way without any more talking. Trinculo, the king and all else being drowned, we will inherit here. Here, bear my bottle. Fellow Trinculo will fill it by and by again.
Farewell, master! Farewell!
A howling monster. A drunken monster.
No more dams I'll make for fish, nor fetching, firing at requiring, nor scrape trencher, nor wash dish. Ban, Caliban has a new master. Get a new man. Freedom, heyday, freedom.
Oh, brave monster, lead the way.
Maybe some sports are painful, and their labor delights in them sets off. Some kinds of business are nobly undergone, and most poor matters point to rich ends. This, my mean task, would be as heavy to me as odious, but the mistress which I serve quickens what's dead and makes my labors pleasures. She is 10 times more gentle than her mother's crabbed, and she is composed of harshness. I must remove some thousands of these logs and pile them up upon a sore injunction. My mistress weeps when she sees me work and says, such baseness had never like executor. I forget, but these sweet thoughts do even refresh my labor. Most busy less when I do it.
Alas, now pray you work not so hard. I would the lightning had burnt up these logs that you are enjoined to pile. Pray now set it down and rest you. When this burns, 'twill weep for having wearied you. My mother is hard at study. Pray now rest yourself. She's safe for these 3 hours.
Oh, most dear mistress, the sun will set before I shall discharge what I must strive to do.
If you'll set it down, I'll bear your logs the while. Pray give me that, I'll carry it to the pile.
No, precious creature. I had rather crack my sinews, break my back, than you should such dishonor undergo while I sit lazy by.
It would become me as well as it does you, and I should do it with much more ease, for my goodwill is to it, and yours it is against.
Poor worm, thou art infected. This visitation shows it.
You look wearily.
No, noble mistress. 'Tis fresh morning with me when you are by at night. I do beseech you, chiefly that I might set it in my prayers. What is your name?
Miranda.
Miranda.
Oh, mother, I have broke your hest to say so.
Admired Miranda. Indeed the top of admiration, worth what's dearest to the world. Full many a lady I've eyed with best regard, and many a time the harmony of their tongue hath into bondage brought my too diligent ear. For several virtues have I like several women, never any was so fun soul. But some defect in her did quarrel with the noblest grace she owed, and put it to the foil. But you, oh you, so perfect and so peerless, created of every creature's best.
I do not know one of my sex. No woman's face remembers, save my mother's, and from my glass mine own. Nor have I seen more that I may call men than you, good friend. How features are broad I am skilless of, but by my modesty, the jewel of my dower, I would not wish any companion in the world but you, nor could imagination form a shape besides yourself to like of. Oh, but I prattle something too wildly, and my mother's precepts I therein do forget.
I am in my condition a prince, Miranda. I do think a king. I would. Not so, and would no more endure this wooden slavery than to suffer the flesh fly blow my mouth. Hear my soul speak. The very instant that I saw you did my heart fly to your service, and there resides to make me slave to it. And for your sake, am I this patient loud man?
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound, and crown I profess with kind event if I speak true. If hollowly invert what best is boded me to mischief. I beyond all limit of what else in the world do love, prize, and honor you.
I am a fool to weep at what I am glad of.
Fair encounter of two most rare affections. Heavens rain grace on that which breeds between them.
Wherefore weep you?
At mine unworthiness, that dare not offer what I desire to give, much less take what I shall die to want. But this is trifling, and the more it tries to hide itself, the bigger bulk it shows. Hence bashful cunning, and prompt me plain and holy innocence. I am your wife, if you will marry me. If not, I'll die your maid. To be your fellow you may deny me, but I'll be your servant, whether you will or no.
My mistress, dearest, and I thus humbly ever.
My husband, then?
I, with the heart as bondage, ever willing of freedom. Here's my hand.
And mine. My heart in it. Now farewell till half an hour hence.
1,000,000.
So glad of this as they I cannot be, who are surprised at all. But my rejoicing at nothing can be more. For ere supper time must I perform much business appertaining.
Tell not me when the buck is out. We'll drink water, not a drop of more. Therefore bear up and order. Servant monster!
Servant monster! The folly of this island! They say there's no mindfulness on this island. We are free, and the other two be brave like us. The state daughters.
Ah, servant monster. Drink when I bid thee. Thine eyes are almost set in thy head.
Where should they be set else? You were a brave monster indeed if they were set in his tail.
My man monster has drowned his tongue in sand. For my part, the sea could not recover me. I swam, ere I could recover the shore, 35 leagues off and on. By this light, thou shalt be my lieutenant, monster, or my standard.
TEMPEST. He's no standard.
Will not run, Monsieur Monster.
Nor go neither. But you'll lie like dogs and say nothing neither.
Mooncalf, speak once in thy life as thou beest a good mooncalf.
How does thy honor? Let me lick thy shoe. I'll not serve her. She's not valiant.
Thou liest, most ignorant monster.
No, how she mocks me. Wilt thou let her, my lord?
Lord, quoth he, that a monster should be such a natural.
No, again. Bite her to death, I prithee. No!
Trinculo, keep a good tongue in your head. The poor monster is my subject, and he shall not suffer indignity.
I thank my noble lord. Wilt thou be pleased to hearken again to the suit I made to thee?
Marry will I. Kneel and repeat it. I shall stand, and so shall Trinculo.
As I say, I am subject to a tyrant who by her cunning hath cheated me of the island.
Thou liest!
Thou liest, thou jesting monkey, thou! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I do not lie.
Trinculo, interrupt the monster one more time in stale, and by this hand I'll supplant some of your teeth.
Why? I said nothing.
Mom, Dad, and no more. Proceed!
I say, by tyranny she got this isle. For me she got it. And if thy greatness will revenge it on her, for I know thou darest, but this thing dares not.
That's most certain.
Then thou shalt be lord of it, and I'll serve thee.
How shall this be compassed? Canst thou bring me to the party?
Oh, yea, my lord. I shall yield her thee asleep, where there thou mayst knock a nail into her head.
Thou liest!
What a pied ninny is this, a starving cat! I would my valiant master would destroy thee. I prithee, my lord, give her blows, and take her bottle from her, that when that's gone she shall drink naught but brine, for I'll not show her where the quick freshes are.
Trinculo, run into no further danger. Interrupt the monster one more time, and by this hand, I'll turn my mercy out of yours and make a stockfish of thee!
Why? I said nothing. I'll stay further off.
Did thou not say she lied?
Thou liest!
Do I so? Take thou that!
I'm tossing your bottle. I'm a rain on your monster. The devil take your fingers.
You proceed further with your tale.
Beat her not. After a little time, I'll beat her too.
Stand further off. Stand further off!
The science, the
Indeed. Come, proceed.
Now, it is a custom with her in the afternoon to sleep. There thou mayst brain her, having first seized her books, or batter her skull with a log, or paunch her with a stake, or cut her throat with thy knife? Remember first to seize her books, for without them, she's but a sot, as I am, and has not one spirit to command. Burn but her books, for she has brave utensils, or so she calls them, and when she has a house, she'll deck withal. And that most deeply to consider is the beauty of her daughter. She herself calls her a nonpareil. I never saw a woman, save Sycorax, my dam, and she as far surpasseth Sycorax, as great does least.
Monster? I will kill this woman. Her daughter and I will be king and queen, save our graces, and Trinculo and thyself shall be viceroys. Doth thou like the plot, Trinculo?
Excellent!
Give me thy hand. I'm sorry I beat thee, but as thou livest, keep a good tongue in your head.
Within this half hour she will be asleep. Wilt thou destroy her then?
Aye, on my honor.
This I shall tell my master.
Thou makest me merry. I am full of pleasure. Let us be joking.
I will do reason, any reason. What is this?
This is the tune of our catch, played by the picture of nobody.
If thou beest a devil, show thyself in thy likeness. If thou beest a man, take us as thou list.
Oh, forgive me my sins!
He that dies pays all debts. I defy thee. Oh, mercy upon us.
Art thou afeard?
No, monster, not I.
Nay, be not afeard. The island is full of noises, sounds, and sweet airs that give delight and hurt not. Sometimes 1,000 twangling instruments would hum about mine ears, and then sometimes voices that, if I had waked after a long sleep, would bid me sleep again, and then in dreams the clouds methought would open and show such riches ready to drop upon me that when I waked, I cried to dream again.
This shall prove a brave kingdom to me where I shall have my music for nothing.
When Prospero is destroyed!
That shall be by and by. I remember the story.
The sound is going away. Let's follow it and after do our work.
You lead the way, monster. I would could I see the tabor he lays it on.
Will's come? I'll follow Stefano.
By Larkin, I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze, trod indeed through forthrights and meanders. By impatience, I needs must rest me.
O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. Sit down and rest. Even here I will put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. He is drowned whom thus we stray to find, and the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. Well, let him go.
I'm right glad he's so out of hope. Do not for one repulse forgo the purpose that you resolve to effect.
The next advantage will we take thoroughly.
Let it be tonight. For now they are pressed for travel. They will not nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh.
I say tonight. No more.
What harmony is this? My good friends, hark.
Marvelous, sweet music.
Give us kind keepers, heavens. What are these?
A living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns.
Travelers never did lie. The fools at home condemn them.
If in Naples I should report this now, would they believe me?
No matter, since they have left their viands behind. For we have stomachs, will it please you taste of what is here?
You are three men of sin, whom destiny that hath to instrument this lower world and what is in it, the never-surfeited sea hath caused to belch out you. And here on this most desolate isle, where man doth not inhabit, you amongst men being most unfit to live, I have made you mad, and even with such like valor men hang and drown their proper selves. You fools! I and my fellows are ministers of fate. The elements to whom your swords are tempered may as well woo the loud winds, or with bemocked staffs kill the still closing waters, as diminish one devil that's in my bloom. My fellow ministers are like invulnerable. If you could hurt, your swords are now too massy for your strength and will not be uplifted. But remember, for that's my business to you, that you three from Milan did supplant good Prospero, exposed unto the sea which hath requited her and her innocent child, for which foul deed the powers delayed me, not forgetting, have incessed the seas and shores, yea, all creatures against your peace. Be of thy son, Milan, so they can grant, and you pronounce by me lingering perdition, worse than any death can be at once, shall step by step attend you and your ways, whose rags to guard you from, which here in this most desolate isle is nothing else but heart sorrow and a clear life ensuing.
Bravely the figure of this harpy hast thou performed, my Ariel. A grace it had devouring. Of my instruction hast thou nothing bated in what thou hadst to say. So with good life and observation strange, my meaner fellows their several kinds have done. My high charms work. And these mine enemies are all knit up in their distractions. They now are in my power. And in these fits I leave them. Well, it is young Ferdinand, who may suppose is drowned, and his and mine loved darling.
Oh, it is monstrous, monstrous! Methought the billows spoke, and told me of it. The winds did sing it to me, and the thunder, that deep and dreadful organ pipe, pronounced the name of Prospero. Did base my trespass. Therefore, my son, with oozes bedded, and I'll seek him deeper than air plummet sounded, and with him, there I mudded.
But one fiend at a time. I'll fight their legions o'er.
I'll be thy second. All three of them are desperate. Their great guilt, like poison given to work a great time after, now begins to bite the spirits. They have suppler joints. I'll follow them swiftly and hinder them from what this ecstasy may now provoke them to.
If I have too austerely punished you, your compensation makes amends. For I have given you here a third of mine own life, or that for which I live, who once again I tender to thy hand. All thy vexations were but my trials of thy love, and thou hast strangely stood the test. Afore heaven I ratify this, my rich gift. O Ferdinand, do not smile at me that I boast her off, for thou shalt find she will outstrip all praise and make it halt behind her.
I do believe it against an oracle.
Then, as my gift and thine own acquisition worthily purchased, take my daughter. But if thou dost break her virgin knot before all sanctimonious ceremonies may, with full and holy rite be ministered, no sweet aspersion shall the heavens let fall to make this contract grow, but barren hate, sour-eyed disdain and discord shall bestrew the union of your bed with weeds so loathly that you shall hate it both.
With such love as 'tis now, the murkiest end, the strongest suggestion, a worser genius can, shall never melt mine honor into lust. Take away the edge of that day's celebration.
Fairly spoke. Sit then and talk with her. She's thine own. What, Ariel? My industrious servant. Ariel.
What would my potent master? Here I am.
Thou and thy meaner fellows your last service did worthily perform, and I must use you in such another trick. Go bring the rabble o'er whom I give thee power here to this place. Incite them to quick motion, for I must bestow upon the eyes of this young couple some vanity of mine art. It is my promise, and they expect it from me.
Presently,
I with a twink.
before you can say come and go, breathe twice and cry so, each one dripping on his toe will be here with mop and mop. Do you love me, master? No?
Dearly. My delicate Ariel. Do not approach till thou dost hear me call.
Well, I conceive it.
Look thou be true. Do not give dalliance too much the rein. The strong can so straught and fire the blood. Be more abstemious, or else good night your vow.
I warrant you, madam, the white cold virgin snow upon my heart abates the ardor of my liver.
Well. Now come, my Ariel. Bring a corollary rather than want a spirit. Approach and partly. No tongue. All eyes. Be silent.
idas, nupte, idas. Nupte, idas, nupte, idas. Nupte, idas, nupte, idas. Nupte, idas, nupte, idas. Nupte, idas, nupte, idas.
Well done. Avoid no more. Forgot that foul conspiracy of the beast Caliban and his confederates against my life. The minute of their plot is almost come.
This is strange. Your mother's in some passion that works her strongly.
Never till this day saw I her with anger so distempered.
You do look, my son, in a moved sort. As if you were dismayed. Be cheerful, sir. Our revels now are ended. These our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air. Into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherits shall dissolve. And like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and a little life is rounded with a snake. Sir, I am vexed. Bear with my weakness, my brain is troubled. Be not disturbed with my infirmity. If you be pleased, retire into my cell and there repose. A turn or two I'll walk, to still my beating mind.
We wish your peace.
Come with the thoughts I thank thee, Ariel. Come.
Thy thoughts I cleave to. What's thy pleasure?
Spirit, who must prepare to meet with Caliban. Say again, where didst thou leave these varlets?
I told you, master, they were red hot with drinking, so full of valor that they smote the air for breathing in their faces, beat the ground for kissing their feet, yet always bending towards their project. Then I beat my tabor, at which, like unbacked colts, they pricked their ears, advanced their eyelids, lifted up their noses as they smelt music. So I charmed their ears, that calf like they my lowing followed through toothed briar, sharp furs, and prickling goss and thorns, which entered their frail shins. At last I left them in the filthy mantled pool beyond your cell, there dancing up to the chins that foul lake o'erstunk their feet.
That was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible retain thou still. The trumpery that I keep, go bring it hither, for still to catch these thieves.
I go.
A devil. A born devil on whose nature and nurture can never stick. On whom my pains, humanely taken, all lost. Quite lost. And as with age, his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring.
Pray thou speak softly, so that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We are now near her cell.
Monster! This fairy which you say is a blind fairy has done a little better than play the jack with us.
Good, my lord. Be patient, and give me thy favor still, for the prize I shall lead to thee shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore, speak softly. All's as hushed as midnight yet.
Aye, but to lose our bottles in the pool.
There is not only disgrace and dishonor in that, but an infinite loss.
There is more to me than my wedding. Yet, this is your harmless fairy monster.
I will fetch off my bottle, though I be all ears for my labor.
Prithee, my king, speak softly. This is the mouth of her cell. No noise, and enter. Do that good mischief which shall make this island thine own forever, and I, thy Caliban, for aye thy footlicker, huh?
Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts.
Oh, Stefano! Oh, dear! Oh, worthy Stefano! Look what a wardrobe is here for me!
Let it alone, thou fool, it is but trash.
Oh, monster, we know it belongs to a frippery. Stefano!
Put off that gown, Piccolo. By this hand, I'll have that gown.
Thy grace shall have it.
The dropsy drowned this fool. What do you mean to dote thus on such luggage? Let's alone and do the murder first. For if she'll wait from toe to crown, she'll fill our skin with pinches, make us strange stuff.
Monster, be you quiet.
Monster, come, put some lime upon your fingers and away with the rest.
I shall have none on't, for we shall lose our time, and all be turned to barnacles, or to apes, with foreheads villainous low.
Monster, lay to your fingers and help bear this off where my hogshead of wine is, or I'll turn you out of my kingdom. Go to. Carry this.
I and this.
I and that.
Let them be hunted soundly. At this hour lie at my mercy all mine enemies. Say, my spirit, how fare is the king and his followers?
Confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. In the lion grove which weather fends your cell, they cannot budge to your release. The king and his company abide all three distracted, and the remainder mournful over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. Our charm so strongly works them that if you now beheld them, your affections would become tender.
Dost thou think so, spirit?
Mine would. Were I human.
And mine shall. Hast thou which art but e'er a touch, feeling of their afflictions? And shall not myself one of their kind, that relish all as sharply passion as they be kindly moved than thou art? Yet with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, yet with my nobler reason, greatest my fury do I take part. The rarer action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend not a frown further. You'll release them, Ariel. The charms shall break their senses to restore, and they shall be themselves.
I'll fetch them.
This rough magic I hear abjure. And when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do, to work mine art upon their senses that this airy charm is formed, I'll break my staff. Buried certain fathoms within the earth, and deeper than did ever plummet sound, I'll drown my book. Solemn air, and the best comforter to an unsettled fancy, cure thy brains. Now useless, boiled within thy skull. There rest, for you are spell stopped. Holy Gonzalo, honorable man, mine eyes, even sociable to the show of thine, fall fellowly drops. The charm dissolves apace, and like the morning steals upon the night, melting the darkness, so their rising senses begin to chase the ignorant fumes that mantle their clearer reason. Oh, good Gonzalo, my true preserver and a loyal sir to him you followest, I will pay thy graces home both in word and deed. Most cruelly didst thou, Alonso, use me and my daughter. Thy sister was a further in the act. Thou art pinched for't now, Sebastiano. Flesh and blood, you brother mine, that entertained ambition, expelled nature and remorse, who is Sebastiano, whose inward pinches therefore are most strong, would here have killed your king. I do forgive thee, unnatural as thou art. Their understanding begins to swell, and the approaching tide will shortly fill the reasonable shore that now lies foul and muddy. Not one of them that yet looks on me or would know me, Ariel. Fetch me the garments and rapier in my cell. I will discase me and myself present as I was some time along. Quickly, spirit, thou shalt ere long be free.
And release me from my bed with the help of your good hands. Else my project is despair, unless I be relieved by prayer, which pierces so that it assaults mercy itself and frees all faults. As you from crimes would pardon be, let your indulgence set me free.
Now that's my delicate Ariel. I shall miss thee. But yet thou shalt have freedom. So, to the king's ship invisible as thou art, thou shalt thou find the mariners asleep. The master and boatswain being awake, enforce them to this place, and presently I prithee.
I drink the air before me and return where'er your cold choice be.
Oh, torment, trouble, wonder, and amazement inhabits here. Some heavenly power, guide us out of this fearful country.
Behold, Sir King, the wronged Duchess of Milan, Prospero. For more assurance that a living lord doth speak to thee, I embrace thy body. And to thee and thy company I bid a hearty welcome.
Whether thou be a sheer no, or some enchanted trifle to abuse me, as late I have been, I not know. Thy pulse beats as of flesh and blood, and since I saw thee, the affliction of my mind amends, with which I fear madness held me. This must crave, and if it be at all, a most strange story. Thy dukedom I resign, and do entreat thou pardon me my wrongs. But how should Prospero be living and be here?
First, noble friend, let me embrace thine age, whose honor cannot be measured or confined.
Whether this be or be not, I'll not say.
You do yet taste some subtleties of the isle that will not let you believe things certain. Welcome, my friends all. But you, my brace of lords, were I so minded, I here could pluck his highness frown upon you, and justify you traitors. At this time I will tell no tales.
The devil speaks in her.
No. For you, most wicked sir, Whom to call brother? What even infect my mouth? I do forgive thy rankest fault. All of them. And require my dukedom of thee, which perforce, I know, thou must restore.
If thou beest Prospero, give us particulars of thy preservation, how thou hast met us here, who on this very shore were wrecked hours before, where I have lost. How sharp the point of this remembrance is, my dear son Ferdinand.
I am woe for, sir.
Irreparable is the loss, and patience says it is past her cure.
I rather think you have not sought her help. Of whose soft grace for the like loss have I her sovereign aid, and rest myself content.
You the like loss?
As great to me as late, and supportable to make the dear loss, have I means much weaker than you may call to comfort you. For I have lost my daughter.
A daughter? Oh heavens, that they were living, both in Naples, the king and queen there. That they were. I wish myself were mudded in that oozy bed where my son lies. When did you lose your daughter?
In this last tempest. I perceive these lords at this encounter do so much admire that they devour their reason, and scarce think their eyes do offices of truth. Their words are natural breath. But howsoever you've been justled from your senses, know for certain that I am Prospero, and that very duchess which was thrust forth of Milan, who most strangely upon this shore where you were wrecked, was landed to be the lord on't. No more yet of this, which is a chronicle of day by day, not a relation for our breakfast, nor befitting this first meeting. Welcome, sir. This cell's my court. Hereby few attendants and subjects none abroad. Pray you look in. My dukedom, since you have given me again, I will requite as good a thing. At least bring forth a wonder to content ye as much as me my dukedom.
Sweet Lord, you made me false.
No, my dearest love. I would not for the world.
Yes, for a score of kingdoms you should wrangle, and I would call it fair play.
If this be a vision of the island, one dear son shall I twice lose.
A most high miracle.
Oh, the seas threaten. They are merciful. I have cursed them without cause.
Now all the blessings of a glad father compass thee about. Arise, and say how thou camest here.
Oh, wonder. How many goodly creatures are there here? How beauteous mankind is. How brave new world with such people in it.
'Tis new to thee.
What is this maid with whom thou wast at play? Your eldest acquaintance cannot be 3 hours. Is she the goddess that has severed us and brought us thus together?
Sir, she is mortal, but by immortal providence she is mine. She is daughter to this famous Duchess of Milan, of whom so often I have heard renown but never saw before, of whom I have received a second life. A mother this lady makes her to me.
I am hers. But oh, how odd will it be that I must ask my child forgiveness.
There, sir, stop. Let us not burthen our remembrance with a heaviness that's gone.
I have inly wept, or should have spoken thus. Look down, you God, and on this couple drop a blessed crown, for it is you that have chalked forth the way which brought us hither.
I say, Amen, Gonzalo. Give me your hand. Let grief and sorrow still embrace his heart that doth not wish you joy.
Be it so. Amen. Sir! Look, sir, look! Here's more of us. I prophesy, if a gallows were on land, this fellow could not drown. Now, blasphemy, that swearest grace o'erboard. Not an oath on shore? Hast thou no mouth by land? What is the news?
The best news is that we have safely found our king and company. The next, our ship, which but 3 glasses since we gave out split. is tight and and freshly rigged as when we first put out to sea.
Master, all the service have I done since I went.
My tricksy spirit.
These are not natural events. They strengthen from strange to stranger. Say, how came you hither?
If I did think, sir, I were well awake, I'll strive to tell thee. We were dead of sleep, and how we know not, all clapped under hatches. Where but even now, with strange and several noises of roaring, shrieking, howling, jingling chains, and more diversity of sounds, all horrible, were we awaked, straightway at liberty, where we, in all her trim, freshly beheld our royal, good and gallant ship, our master your capering diver, on a trice, so please you, as if in a dream, where we divided from the rest and were brought moping hither.
Wast well done?
Bravely, my diligence. Thou shalt be free.
This is as strange a maze as e'er men trod, and there is in this business more than nature was ever conduct of. Some oracle must rectify our knowledge.
Sir, my liege, do not infest your mind with debating on strangeness of this business, but at pick leisure, which shall be shortly, single I'll resolve you, which you shall seem probable of every these happened accidents. Till when, be cheerful, and think of each thing well. Come hither, spirit. Set Caliban and his companions free. Untie the spell. How fares my gracious sir? There are yet missing of your company some few odd lads that you remember not.
Every man shift for all the rest, and let no man take care for himself, for all is but lost. Oh.
If these be true spies which I wear in my head, here is a goodly sight.
Oh. Oh. How fine my master is. I am afraid she will chastise me.
What things are these, my lord Antonio? Will some money buy up?
Very like. One of them is a plain fish, and no doubt marketable.
Mark for the badges of these men, my lord, then say if they speak true. This misshapen knave, his mother was a witch, and one so strong that could control the moon, make flow the ebbs and deal in her command without her power. These three have robbed me, and this demi-devil, for he is a bastard one, had plotted with them to take my life. Two of these fellows you must know and own. This thing of darkness, acknowledge mine.
I shall be pinched to death.
Is not this Stefano, my drunken butler?
He is drunk now. Where had he wine?
And Trinculo is reeling right. Where should they find this grand liquor that hath gilded them? Say, how camest thou in this pickle?
I have been in such a pickle since I saw thee last. I fear me will never out of my bones.
How now, Stefano?
Touch not me. I am not Stefano, but a cramp. Oh,
You'll be king of the Isle, sirrah?
I should have been a sore one then.
This is as strange a thing as e'er I looked on.
He is as disproportioned in his manners as in his shape. Go, sirrah, to my cell. Take with you your companions. As you look to have my pardon, trim it handsomely.
Aye, that I will, and I'll be wise hereafter and seek for grace. What a thrice doubled ass was I to take this drunkard for a god and worship this dull fool.
Go to. Away.
Sir, I invite your highness and your train to my poor cell, where you shall take your rest for this one night, which part of it I'll waste with such discourse as I not doubt shall make it go quick away. The story of my life and the particular accidents gone by since I came to this shore. And in the morn I'll bring you to your ship, and so to Naples, where I hope to see the nuptial of these, our dear beloved, solemnized. And thence retire me to my Milan, where every third thought shall be my grave.
I long to hear the story of your life, which must take the ears strangely.
I'll deliver all, and promise you calm seas, auspicious gales, and sail so expeditious as to catch your royal fleet far off. My Ariel, chick that is thy charge. Then to the elements. Be free. And fare thou well. Please you draw near. Now my charms are all o'erthrown. And what strength I house mine own, which is most fate, now 'tis true, I must be here confined by you. Or sent to Naples, let me not, since I have my dukedom got, and pardon the deceiver dwell in this fair island by your spell. Gentle breath of yours my sails must fill, or else my project fails.